comes to making an album, you really have to have something that opens it up, that will engage the listener. You gotta have something good. When it came to writing The Void, I had gone through probably about 6 different ideas for a song. And the way The Void came about was kind of by accident, kind of a happy miracle, really. So I had a few ideas for writing the song, and I convinced myself on the morning of recording that the ideas were not good at all. But strangely enough, inspiration sort of came out of nowhere. And having listened to a lot of Peter Gabriel, A.R. Kane and Jesus and Mary Chain, I wanted to combine those into a song that sort of had that rhythmic structure of world music, but also combined with the shoegazy, dream poppy sort of sound. So I programmed a few parts onto the drum machine. I had the chord structure ready. So as soon as it came time to recording the song, I wasn't too confident about it. I just hoped that it would work. And strangely enough, it did. And by the end of it, Drew and I were convinced that it was probably one of the best things we'd ever done. And for The Void, a lot of happy accidents happened. So one example was the use of feedback. So guitar feedback as a musical instrument. I felt that to have a little bit of, not roughness, but an extra texture that wasn't usually found as opposed to synthesizers or rhythm guitar. So what had happened is we'd use my acoustic guitar, the Maton, and we'd put it through the overdrive amp in Drew's studio, so it would create a torrent of feedback. Now, we only ran one take of the song, and that take of the feedback you hear on the song, that is the take that's made the cut. So we only used one take. And what was interesting was I was holding my hands over the guitar strings and the sound hole just to prevent any sound from actually coming out. But it just seemed like the guitar had a mind of its own and was producing the sound on its own terms. And strangely enough, it worked. There was said that you can hear samples of murmurs from voice, as well as different sounds that have been traced through the guitar's sound hole to produce this feedback sort of sound. And when we listen back to the track, this overlay of feedback really added this extra dimension to the overall song. To go from a chaotic sounding start where it really engaged the listeners with a drum heavy aggressive sort of sound, to the more softer serene moments of the song, but then also having these little murmurs of feedback coming through the headphones of the speakers. It's one of the songs that I can listen to where I am immensely proud and gobsmacked at the same time that I managed to produce something like this, because I didn't think I had it in me. But looking at it now, I'm so glad that The Void came out the way it did, and I couldn't think of a better track to open the album.